Welcome back, you lovely people. Today we're going to look around the crypto market, see how strong it is today. We're back to normal. By normal, I mean we're going up pretty much across the board. We'll have a look at some comments from Christine Lagarde, the head of the IMF, and we'll talk a little bit about the regulatory environment. We'll touch on gold and silver. We'll talk about the new stimulus package potentially coming in the US and what that means. So let's get into it with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up almost 6% today. You can see that we have almost recovered the whole dip now. We are only 6% or so off the peak. We're at 40,000. The peak was 42,000. So we've recovered very, very quickly, maybe a little quicker than I expected. We talked about going around in here, maybe we have a little pullback and then we go up, but this looks really, really strong, really healthy. I said yesterday that we were consolidating here and that it's a good time to buy, and that's proven to be correct as we have gone through that consolidation and now we're heading upwards again. Very, very beautiful. Ethereum is one of the stories of today. It's really starting to lead Bitcoin, which is super healthy, great to see. It looks like we're about to turn this resistance into support, hopefully. That's why I'm changing it green. You can see that when we had the dip, we bounced off here, which was at $975. We're now heading right back up to the previous swing high of $1,350. And if we zoom out, let's see where we are in relation to the all-time high. The all-time high, $1,420. That is the next target in our sights. We're nearly there. We're only 15% away from the all-time high in Ethereum, and on Ethereum that can come about very, very quickly. I would expect us to get there in the not too distant future. What happens when we break through the all-time high of Ethereum? I expect Ethereum to run very hot after it breaks the all-time high. We may break, have a little retest, and then resume from there. What price we're looking at for Ethereum? Very, very hard to predict, but if we think that Bitcoin is going to go up 6 or 7 times from here, you would expect Ethereum to go up perhaps at least 10 times from here. So $10,000 Ethereum, is it possible? I think so, but time will tell. Chainlink's up nearly 6% today. Great to see the dip on Chainlink. We'd been in this channel for a while with Chainlink, and we'd looked to have broken out. When we had the Bitcoin dip, we retested and now we're resuming upwards. The next target for Chainlink is the previous all-time high, which is just under $20. Again, I expect us to take that out really quickly, and from then on, if any of you were watching Chainlink last summer, you will know what Chainlink is capable of, and she has been a little quiet so far compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum and Polkadot. However, we're going in the right direction now, and as soon as we take out that all-time high, I think you're going to see some fireworks from Chainlink. Speaking of fireworks, Polkadot is really the story at the moment, or at least one of the stories in the crypto world. I've been saying for the past couple of months that I think Polkadot will be the story of this alt season, and it's proving to be the case. Polkadot from the end of December is up 182% already. Even in the last couple of days, Polkadot is up 76%. Huge moves, up another 18% today. Should we be taking profits after this sort of move? For me, on Polkadot right now, no. No, and the reason for that is there is so much news and coverage of Polkadot. They're launching their parachain auctions at the moment, which means huge demand for the tokens. People have been waiting for Polkadot to launch for a while, and now is the time. It really is a great solution for crypto companies that are looking for scalability and interoperability. Sorry. And I don't expect it to slow down in the near future. So I definitely, when you have one of your assets, one of your cryptos that is running like this, and it's combined with a lot of positive coverage, then you most likely want to let it run, because these cryptos can run very, very hot. In a couple of months, Polkadot could be up 10 times from where it is now. So I wouldn't be looking to take profits right now. If so, then perhaps just take a little bit off the table. I want to look at comments from yesterday's videos, particularly this one from Damian, who was asking about BET, which I don't know anything about, but we'll have a look at it. I don't know anything about the project, VE chain, but let's have a look at the chart. Well, the first thing I notice is the chart looks absolutely beautiful. We're definitely moving in the right direction. I've obviously drawn that line in very roughly, but you can see even that we had the dip as we had in most of the crypto market, and now we're resuming upwards. That looks like a really, really nice entry potentially if VE chain is something that you are interested in investing in. I'm just seeing with my eyes as well that we came back into this support line here, and now we're resuming upwards. So that looks great. If VE chain is something that you are interested in and you think it's a great project, then the setup looks really nice right now. Chris was asking to do a video for gold and silver. I will certainly do a video for gold and silver at some point. I'm going to touch on it now. I've also had a few private messages from people, perhaps a little bit frustrated, let's say, with gold and silver because it's not moving like cryptocurrency. It's very important to zoom out. So we zoom out on gold. Which direction are we heading in? We're going upwards. We're in a bull market in gold. We're going to see in a second how much money central banks and governments are putting into the economy. There is only one direction that gold and silver can move in, and that is upwards. They protect you against inflation. They always have done since the beginning of time. We've had this pullback again. We're into our trend line, and I would expect the next move to be upwards. Gold looks really, really healthy. We had a massive run from mid 2019 to mid 2020. Since then, we're consolidating here. Now I expect us to resume upwards. Important to be patient. It's basically the same story on silver. Sorry about the dogs. Silver is going in a clear direction, which is upwards. I like silver. I like silver more than gold for gains at the moment, because during a bull market, silver almost always moves a lot more than gold does. So if you're looking for gains, silver is the place to be. I think particularly the next year in silver is going to be very exciting. Again, in silver, the setup looks really nice. We've been consolidating, we broke out, we're retesting, and now we're resuming upwards. That looks really good. For investors in gold and silver, and any investment that's not moving at the moment, be patient. Is your investment strategy still intact? The reasons why you invested in them, they are still valid. And remember, sometimes if you're zoomed in like this, either on a chart or mentally, then it's hard to see the wood from the trees. Zoom out, see where we're going. It's clear gold and silver are going in the right direction. Bitcoin over the past 24 hours has become the 8th largest asset in the world, overtaking Facebook. I think that is a great achievement. It's been climbing, of course, over the past year. The only way is up from here. I'm going to keep checking in on where Bitcoin is on the table. Tencent, Chinese company, is next, and Tesla. Maybe hard to keep up with Tesla at the moment, but I'm sure Bitcoin will catch Tesla at some point. Currently, Bitcoin has a market cap of $700 billion. It will be 1 trillion in no time. Apple leads the way, $2.2 trillion. Do we think Bitcoin will be the #1 asset by the end of this bull cycle in September? Yes, I think it will be. I think you're going to see Bitcoin at the top of this list by the end of this bull cycle around the end of the year. The Pakistan government is to fund 2 state-backed Bitcoin mining farms. This is incredible to see. Now you have governments who are investing in Bitcoin. This is an indirect way of them investing in Bitcoin. There are many rumors that are hard to confirm that China and North Korea are already buying Bitcoin and or mining Bitcoin. This is exactly what we expect to see. There's going to be a rush into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. #1 for the innovation and technology, #2 for the store of value and the protection against the destruction of fiat currency. You're then going to get game theory play out where no government is going to want to be the last government to buy Bitcoin. That's how we're going to end up with Bitcoin essentially eating the world and being valued at $1 million per coin, $2 million per coin. This is what the future looks like. Maybe not in this cycle, but certainly I see the next cycle as being really focused on which governments are going to blink first and which ones are going to get left behind. Talking about the regulatory environment, this was amazing to see. This is a digital asset management company in the US, Anchorage. They've been given a federal banking charter by the US government. So they now, it's provisional, but of course this is the first step to getting the actual banking charter, and this gives them a lot of the capability and rights that the big US banks have. So although we do see a lot of negative news coverage sometimes from the US, it does feel to me like the US are actually really trying to begin the process of adoption and integration, which we're unfortunately not seeing in Europe or the UK, which are lagging behind. This lady, Christine Lagarde, has been all over the news and social media today with her comments about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has conducted some funny business and some interesting and totally reprehensible money laundering activity. Those are very interesting words from somebody who heads up the IMF. As Mike Novogratz says, banks have paid billions in fines for money laundering and other hanky-panky over the past decade. I'm sure over 100 billion. I'd like to see evidence of large-scale money laundering in crypto before we get comments like this. Exactly right. I find it, Christine Lagarde used the word reprehensible. I find it reprehensible that our leaders can put out comments like this without any evidence to back it up, because, and the reason is it can't be backed up. 99.5% of criminal activity around the world is committed in fiat currency, the vast majority of that happening in dollars, and I'm sure euros is quite close behind. And let's not forget, Christine Lagarde, convicted IMF head, found guilty of criminal charges over massive government payout. I don't think I need to say anything else. You have people like Max Kaiser who are now leaning in. I don't necessarily like people calling each other names. Let's keep this friendly. However, maybe in some cases it's warranted. Stimulus, money printing, free money. Joe Biden, about to be inaugurated as US president, is already telling us what his agenda is. His agenda is to increase the deficit, increase government spending, to turn on the money printers, of course, which have been on for a long time. So ratchet up the power of the money printers. He's telling Congress he wants to print about $2 trillion, which is up from the $1.3 trillion that has been talked about. Trillion, we're now throwing around the word trillion like it's normal, an incredibly huge number. And a lot of people, including myself, are becoming more and more confident that more and more confident that people are going to start losing faith in fiat currency, in the dollar, in the euro, in the pound. Of course, it's happening for many people. That's why adoption of Bitcoin is increasing exponentially. There's still some way to go. When do we reach the tipping point where the majority lose faith in their fiat currency and they start rushing into gold, into silver, into Bitcoin? Will it be the year 2021? Here's a really, really nice article on Zero Hedge. I suggest you check that out. And then I will leave you with this just to circle back around to Bitcoin. We have just come out of, from what is for many of you your first dip, and now we're going up again. During the dip, all the coverage was about Bitcoin being a bubble, being a scam. This is the time that it's going to fall to zero. And of course, we've very, very quickly recovered. What happens when we start getting to $50,000, $60,000, $100,000? Everybody's going to be calling it a bubble. This is all noise. Avoid the noise. Make it really, really clear and still in your mind of what your strategy is. The strategy right now should be first and foremost Bitcoin. If you're looking at other cryptocurrencies, make sure you do your own research. Make sure that you enjoy the journey. The next 6 to 9 months is going to be very, very exciting and hopefully rewarding for all of you. I'll see you tomorrow.